Hello everyone. So March is coming, and just like last year, I've read on March only Warhammer books, or Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, and so on books. So this next year, so in this 2025, I'm going to do the same. Well, I'm going to try to do the same. I've been not reading as much as I used to read. I still enjoy them a lot, but unfortunately, I don't know why. I've been reading one novel every 2 or 3 months, which is a shame, and I'm going to try to change that because I really enjoy the world. I enjoy what is built, the way it's written, and so on. So I guess I don't know. It probably is because I have a lot of books to read. So what am I going to read? So the first book I'm going to read, and this is in no particular order. I'm going to try to finish and to finish one series and continue another. So the first ones are going to be Tanquil's Doom by C.L. Werner. This is the last book on the Tanquil and Bone Reaper series, which I've been off putting for a couple of months now. But this month, without a doubt, I'm going to finish. I really enjoy R.C.L. Werner writing. I really enjoy Tanquils. It's very funny, it's very witty, it's very interesting to see this side character from Gotrek and Felix, and it's amazing stuff. The second one I'm going to read, it's going to be the third book on the series, which is called Necropolis by Dan Abbott. This is in the Ghost series, so this is the second novel I'm going to read. This is the sequel, I believe it's Ghost Maker, and I've been also off-putting for a couple of months now. Then, in terms of solo novels, nothing to do with these two, which are sequels, I'm going to read a couple of fantasy, couple of Warhammer 40k. It's going to be Sigvald by Darius Inks. This is my first read, I believe, from Darius Inks stuff. This is a series on what they wrote. I don't think this one is, but it's Warhammer Heroes, which has like a short novels, solo novels set in the Warhammer fantasy world. You've got Sword of Vengeance, for example, Sigvald, Ulfric, and there is another one which I'm not, the Red Book, Valkia the Bloody, and so on. So this one, Sigvald, is the next one I'm going to read. 40k Warhammer Warhammer fantasy stuff, not Warhammer 40k. In terms of Warhammer 40k, my goal is to read the first book I'm going to read about this author, which I've been hearing a lot good stuff. It's Peter Fehervari, I believe it's that the name, and it's Firecased. Okay, so this is a solo Imperial Guard novel. He then start writing a lot of more complex novels, to be honest, and this one is the first one he wrote in this universe. So, and they are all connected. I believe it's called The Coils of Labyrinth, something like that. I don't remember the name. It's something to do with the coils, and all of his stuff is interconnected within the Warhammer 40k universe. It's all interconnected, so kind of interesting to see how this goes. So 4 novels. The fifth one, it's going to be, for the first time, it's going to be Storm of Iron. Okay, so this is the special edition. I've got the non-special edition. This one is published by this one is written by Graham McNeil. This is a side story, if you can call it that, of a series he wrote, which is called Uriel Vintres. They have like the enemies, their particular enemies. It's the Iron Warriors, Onsu, I believe that's the name of the warsmith, And so this is the first novel, or the only full-length novel that I know regarding that character. So Storm of Iron, I expect a lot about this. I've been off-putting because I really had great expectations about this novel, so I didn't want to read it. I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes it happens. And then next it's going to be, I'm trying to find the book. Well, I'm going to try to read one, reread one. I have not decided yet. The first one that I've been deciding is going to be either Double Eagle by Dan Habit, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And the second one is The Demon Curse, which is also another of my favorites, also by Dan Habit, but this one is written with Mike Lee. This one is fantasy, this one is Warhammer 40k. This one is set within the same, not universe, but the same sector that is going to the Guns Ghosts. It's the same campaign, if you want to call it that, but it's like a side quest, side story. And he wrote this book almost 20 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2004, and only now in 2024, end of December, beginning of January, there was the sequel, which is called The Interceptor City. And I want to buy that, of course, and I want to read that, of course, in the next month. But let's hope I can get the book. But my goal is to read this one and then read the next one, or just this one. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know which one I'm going to read. Probably my feelings will change with time. And then finally, so I've decided for 6 novels. Let me just decide one more, which I've also am decided between either Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer 40k. If I go Warhammer 40k, I'm going with The Infinity and Divine by Robert Rath. Or if I'm go fantasy, I'm going with the next full-length series, which is Witch Hunter series by C.L. Warner. This is the second sequel, the first book in the series. This is the second series that he wrote in Warhammer Fantasy. The first one was Bounty Hunter Brunner, which is amazing. And this one is also called Witch Hunter. In the beginning it was only one book, then he wrote 2 more. It is called, the series is now called Matthias Tullman series. So my goal is going to be read this one or this one. I don't know which one. It depends on my mood after reading 6 or 6 books. My goal is to read a bit less, because I believe in January I went over the board with the books. I read a lot. In February, it's now in the middle of February, and I'm reading, but not so consistently, so maybe I don't want to be a bit burned with it. So my goal is going to read, I'm going to go with 6 novels, and then let's see if I can read more. I read more. If I don't, I don't. But I don't want to feel pressure to read what I tell that I'm going to read. But so I believe 6 novels are more than good. It's talking about around 70 pages per day, which is quite feasible. My goal is a bit higher, but if I don't, I'm happy as well. So 6 novels. So let's see what this next month will bring. Maybe it will bring my time with bring back time that I've been enjoying, and I've been seeing some of my old posts in my blog and so on, and the vast majority from 2010, 12 and before was Warhammer, and I really enjoyed the books. I gave it almost all of them high marks, maybe because it was in the beginning I was reading and I didn't know much, but after reading 1,000 books, 1,500 books almost, over these last 12, 13 years, I guess most of the stories are not new, they are rehash of others and so on, or at least your mind thinks that they are rehash. Maybe they don't even know themselves. They don't even know they have written, but you know, your mind is saying, okay, I've read this before. I've read this type of trope before, and so on, and so I want to go back to Warhammer because that's what bring me to reading. So let's see. Uh, Thank you all for listening, and if you have any recommendation of another book I should read, please do tell me. I've got a lot to read in Warhammer. I want to reread Word Bearers. I want to reread where is it? I don't know where is it. I want to reread Double Eagle again. Again, as I said, I want to reread my favorite book of all time, probably this month, which is going to be Dead Man Walking, and so on. So, if you have any suggestions, please do tell me. Thank you.